Ladies and gentlemen, this is not what you are prepared for. The price of the XRP Ripple coin may soar to $2,000 or more. Quite awesome, isn't it? Experts in crypto are saying precisely that, and it's all because to Coinbase, the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, they have the ability to turn this into a reality with their enormous movements. Let's examine it more closely and determine the true cause. Disclaimer. The focus of the cryptocurrency market is once again on XRP, and Coinbase is the focus this time. Coinbase's XRP reserves have dropped by about 90% in just 90 days, from approximately 970 million XRP to just 99 million, according to new on-chain data. There are discussions concerning the implications of this startling change for the future of Ripple's token. The sentiment among traders is aptly encapsulated by cryptocurrency analyst Del Crexto, who emphasized the move on X by saying that no one is ready for what comes next. According to the blockchain tracking, Coinbase has reduced the number of cold wallets from dozens to a small number, each of which has about 16.5 million XRP. Here's the twist, though. There is no evidence of mass selling on the blockchain. Large transfers to external addresses are instead recorded, so while XRP hasn't vanished, its visibility has. Why is this important then? One of the best indicators of possible market pressure is visible exchange reserves. There are typically two main explanations when exchange balances decline. The negative interpretation is that institutions or whales are strategically removing assets from the exchange, making it more difficult to track down liquidity. The angle of bullishness? Less XRP on Coinbase would result in less immediate sell-side pressure, which, if demand rises, might pave the way for a price surge, and things become particularly intriguing at this point. Perhaps Coinbase itself will be the trigger. The exchange might be setting the stage for a fresh push for XRP if these transfers reflect institutional custody changes, over-the-counter transactions, or planning for wider integration. After all, a significant turning point had already been reached when Coinbase relisted XRP in 2023 after Ripple's court triumph. New demand may be generated if the platform keeps embracing XRP and possibly adds new trading pairings, liquidity plans, or institutional access. Since Coinbase's supply has been drastically decreased, even slight increases in purchasing activity could cause prices to spike higher. This interaction produces a situation that I would describe as a powder keg. Limited supply that is readily apparent, and Coinbase's prominence as one of the biggest U.S. exchanges. Because of the reduced reserves, the price of XRP may move more quickly and forcefully than most people anticipate if sentiment turns bullish. Bitcoin's supply shocks prior to halving cycles are not dissimilar. Impact is increased by scarcity. The uncertainty, however, cannot be disregarded. The XRP has left Coinbase, according to the blockchain, but it's unclear where it went. Some anticipate possible accumulation for long-term holding, some point to internal reorganization, and some speculate about custodial moves connected to organizations like BlackRock. In any event, the market is keeping an eye on the fact that the game board has changed. The question for traders is now when this new setup will cause a price response rather than whether XRP is in play. Nobody is prepared for what will happen next, as Del Crexto said. With Coinbase at its core and XRP's liquidity profile rapidly shifting, the upcoming weeks may mark a turning point for one of the most contentious commodities in cryptocurrency. This is when things start to get interesting. Let's examine the forecasts made by leading crypto specialists. You don't want to miss this portion, I assure you. Some of the figures they're putting out for XRP will astound you, and they might alter your perspective on the coin's future. Therefore, you will observe that the confidence in the XRP community is unwavering if you spend any time there. Galaxy tweeted a summary of it. Without a doubt, XRP will have its time. It's difficult to overlook the parallels between the current cycle and the ones in 2017 and 2018. That analogy is relevant since, in just a few months at the time, XRP rose from obscurity to rank among the top 3 cryptocurrencies. History is about to rhyme, according to many holders. It was put even more bloodily by John Squire. XRP is loading, not sleeping. For those who believe that Ripple's coin is subtly getting ready for a breakout, while naysayers reject it, that term has practically become a mantra. The XRP Avengers went one step farther and predicted that XRP would print the largest green candle ever. Then there's Jack the Rippler, who doesn't mince words. Buy as much XRP as you can because it will happen sooner rather than later that each XRP will be worth $100. Of course, opinions on the time frame are divided. This is where experts in the field come in. Market strategist Armando Pontoya has expressed his belief that patience is necessary, but that XRP would eventually hit $1,000. Although bold forecasts like Jake Claver's demand for $1,500 to $2,000 by 2026 may sound thrilling, he maintained that they are not achievable. According to Pontoya, it will take XRP a lot longer to get to those levels. He used the history of Bitcoin and the path of XRP to support his argument. It took until 2017, almost 8 years after its debut, for Bitcoin to truly establish itself over $1,000 after it briefly crossed the $1,000 mark in 2013. The path ahead appears longer because XRP is 13 years old and still trades at about $3. However, Pantoja contended that the SEC case, which began in 2020, has placed a special strain on XRP, delaying adoption, freezing momentum, and shattering investor trust. Ripple may finally be able to follow a growth path more akin to that of Bitcoin's now that it is coming out of that conflict. His prediction? Realistically, it might take until 2033 or 2035 for XRP to surpass $1,000. That would represent a 3,100% rise at the current levels. I appreciate you watching. Please remember to hit the like button, leave a comment with your ideas or questions, and most importantly, remember to subscribe if you found the information informative and enjoyable.